Hello everyone, it's Nolana Lynch here and I'm excited to be here with you on the Arch and Olive YouTube channel and blog to share with you my wellness check-in layout. I've started things off by using the Minty Fresh Kit Club. It is a kit with beautiful greens and blues and all things self-care and wellness. So I am using my calligraphs here to create a title for my journal spread. I wanted to do it as just a quality based checking for the end of the month, to just kind of tell myself, look, things happen, life happen, but these are the things that I did and I showed up for myself anyway. So I chose some of the major categories, like food, exercise, but also holidays and spa treatments, skincare, just things that we do, little habits that I am building to check in with myself on those. I loved using these washi strips to create sections in my journal. They were perfect for that. So wanting to just kind of break things up a bit, and the various patterns on this are perfect. And then using some of the deco stickers that are in line or in theme with these sections that I have. So that one will be for our holiday. We went to New Zealand for a couple weeks and that was really lovely. And then I thought this one would be great and I could add in this food base, this chocolate, because it was sugar-free January. So just adding that in on the right and then continuing on with some more of the strips. And this to me helps to kind of break up the spread and add interest. And I really love how it turned out. I love the variety on the strips and I thought that made it fun. This is exercise, which I used to exercise with my headphones on. I no longer do because I have young kids and I just squeeze it in during the day when they're playing. So always need to hear what's going on, but I thought that was the closest to an exercise deco sticker. And then also using this other one here, and I popped that in to kind of focus on spa treatment, but also looking at just kind of general upkeep. Sometimes it's hard to keep up with those things, but we do what we can. And then I thought this one would be perfect for skincare. I've been obsessing over some new skincare regimens lately, and so I really love how that turned out. So I'm just gonna pop in and start writing these in here, and I kind of just wanted it to be reflective. Like, look, this is what the month has been like. I have generally reduced any processed sugar intake. I think I'm pretty good with that, but I also have started having coffee over the past couple of years, and so kind of trying to manage my sugar in my coffee, I think, is probably the major thing that I have to do. And then kind of looking at other ways to blend that in. So just writing about that. And then using my calligraphs. These are all pretty. So the Bonnie Favorites has quite a bit of like natural tones, which I really loved using. And so just adding in some titles there and popping that in. So I'm gonna just do another color to add a bit of interest and depth, and just coloring that part in. And I do that for the other sections of this layout as well. So slowly doing it, but it gets there. I'm just having fun. I just love writing it in and I'm just having fun, full stop. So just kind of doing that there for a bit, and I use a variety of colors throughout the layout to get that sort of effect with all the different headings that I focus on. So I'm just doing some coloring, just having a good time. You don't have to be a perfect hand lettering person. I certainly am not. I just, and this is what it all looks like in the end. So just looking at the various sections and enjoying that, you know, like I could focus on this and that and just kind of be real about where I am. It's my journal. It's not for anybody else to read. So just being genuine about where my exercise is and all of those things. Okay, so this is my completed spread. I absolutely love doing a wellness check-in for the month of January. Sometimes at the end of a month or a period of time, we kind of feel like we've failed or we haven't quite done it, but I felt like something like this helped to focus on the positives and the things that actually happened. And so for January, my goal was to do sugar-free January. For the most part, it was great, but I think I'm also a bit extreme with how I saw it. So I also not just wanted to reduce processed sugars, but also, you know, no sugar. Well, usually I put honey in my coffee. I didn't want to do that. Or, you know, no sugary fruits or carbohydrates. And so I kind of had to check in with myself and kind of look at what the intention was and reducing things, having healthier sugars. You know, sometimes I would have berries if I felt for something sweet and whatnot. So just trying to practice moderation and self-care and not like punish myself completely. So I put sugar-free with a question mark because it was sugar-free in some ways, but you know, depending on how you look at it. So I'm still really excited with my overall goal, which was to just reduce sugar consumption and focus more on my protein, which I have been doing for the past few months, and then, you know, just keeping all the other things in line, you know, my water intake and whatnot. So then we also traveled to New Zealand. I love traveling. We have 2 young kids, so traveling isn't always a holiday. But it still felt great, you know, being in nice green spaces off the grid. We went to like some of the geothermal or volcanic towns. We did hot springs. I got like a spa day, which I talk about on this side as well. And so just staying by the lakes. All of these towns have lakes, and so those are all gorgeous. And in different scenarios, this was like, you know, volcanic, geothermal. The lakes were like warm, sulfuric. This one was, you know, more like a ski town, so it was very cold even though it was summer. And this one was just a pristine glacier melt lake, so beautiful light blues, very, very stunning. Here I talk about my exercise and, like, you know, focusing on movement, so getting my steps in every day, rebounding, home workouts, just however I can get my exercise in. And I talk about, you know, how I've made that kind of like a daily routine for myself, even though sometimes it's hard and sometimes I feel like I'm not motivated to do it, but still getting it done. Here I talk a bit more about my spa treatments that I did this month, you know, facials, massages, getting my nails done. You know, sometimes I also visited the bathhouse in December for my birthday, and I never really thought that I would love it, but I did. And so when I did the Polynesian spa in New Zealand, there were all the hot pools, but I also did the cold plunge for a second time, which I quite enjoyed. There was a nice lady in there who encouraged me to come in and to stay, and we chatted, and it was actually quite palatable. I hate cold water. I love warm water. So hot springs, yes. Cold plunge, no. So I was really proud of myself that I was able to do it again. And then just talking about my skincare and keeping up with just those basic everyday things, you know, doing my gua sha and all these different things, my lymphatic drainage, and how that has just helped me to feel better, just taking care of myself. So this is my wellness check-in for the month of January. I'm really happy I did it. I think I'll continue doing, you know, different check-ins as part of my journaling exercises for the month. So thank you so much for being here. Hope you've enjoyed this video. Please look at the other videos. They're all really great, just very different and beautiful takes on journaling, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.